So my idea is a dramatised documentary.
Okay. Yeah.
Docudrama. A docudrama, as Ed kindly suggested. And the idea of it is someone is talking to the camera in the face. Hi, Andy, you're Ed. And it's a first-person account of someone's experience with the paranormal. And it's basically just a long interview with them talking over their experience, and it's got overlays of reenactments to make it more engaging for the audience.
How long do you think it will be?
So I asked this in my last survey, and the film festival rules was up to half an hour for a short film, and the answer that came back was about 25 minutes.
Well, I like it how it's different.
I think the idea of ghosts is good because everyone sort of enjoys the paranormal side of things. So I think having a ghost will be an interesting kind of side to it.
It's a bit different to us as well.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the
It's not like romance or anything.
Yeah.
I think one thing that you'll need though is, because it's actually a short film, not a documentary, you need to have some form of a narrative with a plot and character development.
Yeah, that's what the idea is. So I'm going to take a real life experience and develop it using my research to see what things fit the best and what would excite most.
You just need to make sure that there's like genuine like character development and a character arc in
Yeah.
it.
I think
Otherwise,
that's why I want it to be about 25 minutes, because I've got to kind of set the character and have a bit of backstory before he goes on about what he experienced.
Will you get a custom score to make it scarier?
Would you suggest getting custom?
I mean, whilst it costs money to get a custom score and it can be expensive, it does help to set the exact mood that you want.
I would agree.
I agree.
It's a nice option. What would you change about it? What would you change? Yeah.
I wouldn't change anything. I'd just suggest that I think it's better to have maybe a slightly long one rather than 10 minutes, because it allows you to have the time to build the suspense if it's going to be something scary.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you not think the viewer's going to get bored for 25 minutes of watch time?
That's why I'm incorporating reenacted footage to keep them really engaged and want to go, well, I've got to keep watching. How would you adapt it? So if you think I missed something out, did I miss anything out? Is there anything that I did include that you think maybe I could do it? Like,
well, I think we're going to
add to
struggle. I think we're going to struggle getting 25 minutes.
25 minutes, okay.
I think you're going to struggle keeping the suspense up and not
Yeah.
and not boring.
I think that's what I'm saying.
I'd say maybe 20 minutes.
So would you say researching
19.
into how to keep the scripts engaging would be?
Well, I'd analyse videos that are the time length that you want to do, and then
see what they're doing to keep up the retention
One
time.
Have you watched?
Continue. Thank you. One thing that you could do is, rather than, because like they're saying, you know, are you going to be able to make 25 minutes? Are they going to get a bit bored in 25 minutes? Is instead of having like, so you're doing like an interview paralleling with the recreation, is to have like maybe like 3 short stories that this person is recounting.
Yeah.
So rather than having like one really long narrative that's probably going to get boring, you could have like 3. So they could say like, you know, my first encounter with the paranormal was this, my second one, and my most recent one was this.
Yeah.
That way, it's just a little bit fresh, and you're not kind of trudging through the same continuous narrative.
based on what he said, you might want to think about doing 3 different stories that will parallel each other and they will link somehow.
Oh, okay. So kind of okay. What would you say the emotional value is? What would you want the emotional value to be? So would you want it to be something that by the end you're in tears, or would you want it to be not how emotional, like so how emotional, but then also what emotions you want to be feeling?
It's about good, so it wouldn't be really emotional with it.
Well,
It might be scary.
It might be emotional in the way that it's terrifying.
Would you want it to be
Well,
scary,
I would
like
say
90% scary?
I'd say.
For me, I'd say
Or would you want it more to be suspenseful?
I think for me,
I'm
it's-
going for more suspense, kind of supernatural.
I think it's less of an emotional story, more you're in it for the voyeuristic pleasure of you're looking at it. It's interesting, it's curious, it gets you thinking, but you're not necessarily like in tears by the end of it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah,
So I'd go with suspense over
Yeah.
make you cry at the end of it.
Yeah,
because
no, yeah.
Some characters died.
No one died.
Have you got any
We'll do that.
locations yet in mind?
I asked the question, shall we? I say again.
So that means no then.
So my next question is, what locations could be used?
Okay.
What do you think would be suited?
Maybe a house.
I think a hotel. I think like a big hotel.
Obviously, the story hasn't been published yet. I am still working on the story, and I've also sent a survey out with the story saying, "Is this a good story?"
I think
So-
the idea of like doing like a hotel maybe.
I was thinking more of a story rather than about an event, rather than about more about a person's experience that no one else kind of knows about,
Yeah.
rather than saying, "Oh, there's this hotel that loads of people have said it's haunted."
Is it a real? Is it a real story?
It will be based on a real story.
Sorry, so you're
You're
doing about a person's experience.
It's a person's experience,
We
not
name
an
it
event.
So in that case, the locations, I'd say when you're like interviewing the
Yeah.
person, I'd have it like in their home.
Mm.
That way it feels more personal.
Yeah.
You could almost
But
black
then-
them out with like
yeah.
a silhouette.
Yeah, and well, you could. And then when you have, if you did go down the route of having like 3 different stories,
Yeah.
you could go for like 3 totally different. So you could go for like the typical like, you know, old abandoned like house, but then you could say do like what Charlie said, like doing like a big grand hotel.
And
but
also-
there's
yeah, modern
something
as well.
going on in there, and then do
Break the stereotype, but still keep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost like you're going for like
Something new.
paranormal activity. Then you're almost like paying homage to almost like Ghostbusters because that's like a
Yeah,
big hotel.
Yeah.
And then third one you could do whatever
Yeah.
really, just be creative.
Yeah. Okay. And what sort of characters would you want to play around? So you can't say these characters yet because there's no set story
Mm.
that has been released yet. It will be soon. Don't worry. I can see the tense, David.
I think for your main character, the person that's recounting the experience, I'd probably say like a woman.
Yeah. I will.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would say an older woman. I think someone who's younger.
Yeah. I want it to be someone, an older male or woman,
Mm.
male or woman.
Yeah.
Male or female.
I'd say like in either like the
recounting
four
when they were.
ones.
I'm setting it for when they're about anywhere from 8 to 16.
What, the age?
Yeah, probably younger.
Oh, what?
because-
So this happened when they were like a child.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
I'd
okay,
go
right,
for
so-
a teenager rather than a child.
Yeah,
It'll be a lot
you
harder
could have
to
gone for
find
something
a
like an
child.
80-year-old
Well, what I'm
blind
thinking
man.
is, maybe it's a story over a long period of time. So maybe when it starts, they're a child, and then it develops into their teens, and it talks about how they progress.
Yeah, that could be a good.
Because
idea.
progression is
The
it
key.
speeds up and makes it more interesting. Because it was
Yeah.
just one character.
So in like the first story they're 8, and the next one they're like 16, and the next one they're 20, and it's being told by like
Well, not even
50
that.
year old.
Like over one story, they could talk about how they grew up with it and how they dealt with it
Mm.
and what it
Yeah.
did to them.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
mm, mm. Anything else to add?
Mm.
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 No.
I don't. Just checking the list. No.
David, did I hear you? You say before you speak.
Mm.
I've got my next one.
Well, how are you going to get your actors?
Um,
Gonna ask them.
Well, you go.
how am I going to get the ghosts?
I can get the
no,
ghost.
I do know a few people that go ghost mode on Snapchat, so I can hit them up.
Oh my days.
Oh,
So,